All right, guys, out here today with another CNR find. This is my 1974 Savage Model 99E, chambered in 300 Savage. The 99E was the economical version of the Savage 99. It was the cheapest in the lineup, and they used, in order to cut cost, birch instead of walnut. They eliminated the cartridge counter that would have been there. They did not jewel the bolt. They also used the original lever safety, where all the others in the lineup had already moved to a tang safety. And this one, not a cost-cutting measure, but this one is a 20-inch barrel, and the options for the 99E were the 20-inch, and I believe it was either a 22 or 24. I don't recall which one. But yeah, these are factory drilled and tapped, just not drilled and tapped for the aperture sight that would have mounted back here. And funny enough, they still color case hardened the lever. And it still looks nice on this one. So anyway, we're gonna get turned around, set up here at 50 yards. We have some hand loads to shoot, and let's get going. This is a box of hand loads that are in a old Winchester Super X silver tip box. These were originally 180 grain, but these are some old reloads in here, and they are 110 grain, round nose, soft point. Should be good for 2,800 feet per second. So I've got 4, and 4 left in the box. I thought that'd be good to start with. Let's load these up. It will hold 5 in the magazine. Let's see how close to 2,800 feet per second we are. I'm going to aim right in the middle of that dot. 2737. We're going to use these to get on paper. I'm not sure if we're hitting high or low. I think I need to move this a little higher. All right. Let's lock that up. All right. I raised the rear sight, and let's see if we can hit the paper now. Huh. Okay. I see us on the paper now. We are on the far right side. The elevation looks right, but let's do another. Okay. Those are kind of tight. Well, I do not have a punch to adjust this rear sight, and the next box of ammo is hand loaded with 150 grain. So I think before we do any sight adjustment, we'll try those other loads. Let's try holding it. Huh. Okay. 2745 feet per second was the average. So if we did have a 24-inch barrel, we would be at or exceeding 2,800. So, all right, I'm gonna move on to these 150 grain hand loads. Looks like these are Sierra bullets. It just says 150 grain, and they are loaded with H380 powder, and written here on the box for this says we should be at 2,400 feet per second, and we'll see how accurate that is. I've got 6 of those left, so we'll do 2 groups, and we will see where it's putting them on that paper. I'm not going to adjust the sights. I don't have a hammer and punch out here with me, but I'd be interested to see if it throws these 150 grain bullets anywhere different on the paper. I will be putting a scope on this. I just wanted to get out here with the open sights and see where it was putting them. The Husqvarna was dead on already. It was just perfect, but this one's off a little. But let's aim dead center again. See what we got. All right, shot 1. Well, I see that these 150 grains are pretty much in line with 110 grain, but appropriately lower. So let's move this up. Yeah, let's see where they go. Oh shit. I heard that. I heard that one. So now that moved it. Let's see, is there one more notch? There was one. All right, well, that raised it up a good couple inches. We're still pretty much in line with those 110 grains as far as the windage. They're just a hair, shooting just a hair over to the left compared to the 110 grain. I moved it up to the last notch on the rear sight, so let's see. Let's see how high we can get these. We're definitely going to be using a scope on this because I don't know if this is going to allow it to get high enough to make any 100-yard shots with this. Okay. Okay, well that did not raise it up enough, and we're at the highest notch on the rear sight now, so it's definitely going to be scope time for this. Boop. Boop. Oh, that sounds so nice. That is a sharp little edge right there. All right, well, I can't raise the rear sight any farther, and we're nowhere near, we're still below the aim point there, which is that orange dot. So I'm going to go ahead and fire off the last 3-shot group, and we will be putting a scope on this next time. Here we go. All right, let's go check that out. Well, here's a close-up. Oh yeah, so pretty good. We just have a couple little nicks on her, but wood looks pretty nice, and the bluing on this is fantastic. I've got that rear sight raised as high as it will go, and we're as high on paper as we'll get. 20-inch barrel, just a couple little marks on the stock, but in overall excellent condition. Here is a close-up of the safety. It is the safety is still the original Savage 99 safety that locks the trigger and the lever. By 74, I believe sometime in the 60s, they had already gone to a Tang safety. The final group, I believe, were these three. What kind of group are we looking at there? 1.38. All right, so factory drilled and tapped. And you can tell, you can tell if these have Savage on the side, then they should be factory drilled and tapped. Before they factory drilled and tapped, they put the Savage up top here. So if they were drilled and tapped, they drilled right through the engraving. All right, guys, well, that's going to wrap up the Savage 99 video. I believe for the next video, I'm going to put a scope on this since it is factory drilled and tapped, and you know, we're done with the elevation on there, and I don't want to go with a shorter front sight. I'm just going to put a Leupold 3-9 scope on there that I have. And I'm also going to snag some factory ammo. We'll see what I can find. If not, I've got brass to hand load, and we'll do that. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.